Cheese.
Thank you.
Y'all already know what time it is. You are now tuned in to Talking Ish with your girl, aka Glam Soul, working on being both beautiful on the outside and beautiful on the inside, honey. Today, this may be one of the most important videos I have made, because it's not something that we're always aware of, but it's something that we should be aware of. You need to really take seriously, because this is gonna really affect your life in the way that it will progress. Today we are talking about people that you should avoid at all costs. And if they are in your life, people you need to remove. Go on with yourself. Get back. Always raw. Woo 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 whatever. Goodbye. Get away. Will Smith said, look at your 5 closest friends and that will tell you who you are. Yeah. Listen, if you hang around 5 broke people, you're gonna be the 6th. And even though you think it's not gonna happen, it always happens. Listen, the people that you surround yourself with are so important, because we have a subconscious mind that picks up on things that we do not even know. Just whatever's around us, your environment, and they say that you cannot go farther than your environment, and not like physical, not your physical environment. You can always move out, but the people that you surround yourself with, the things that you watch on TV, the things that you constantly are digesting, that's all your environment. And you cannot go beyond that. You have to start changing things in your life if they're not going right. You have to change the people around you. You have to change the things that you're watching. You have to change, because there's a whole nother video. We're focusing on people that you should avoid. The number one on my list is people who are always complaining. Avoid them at all costs, yo. Even if they're your family. You people that are always complaining are people who see the world in a negative light. You know, sometimes they try to say, oh, I'm just being realistic, or da-da-da-da-da. No, like, if you always find the negative in a situation, like you don't, you know, I'm sorry, y'all. This is like triggering me talking about this. People who are always complaining have a very negative perspective. Like, they always find something to complain about. It's always something not right, always something. Like, that's negative energy that you're constantly throwing out there. The way the universe works, when you start appreciating things, when you look for the positive in things, this is my favorite saying: chew the meat and spit out the bones. You feel me? So that's with anything, any person, any class, any TV show, whatever it is. Do not focus on the negative. Spit that stuff out. Focus on the positive. Because people who are constantly complaining, it's like they don't see nothing right. It's like everything's wrong. Like, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. The way the universe works is that it replies to gratitude. It replies to happiness. You know what I'm saying? Like, so even if something is not the exact best, it's just thank you for that. Or you know what? It's gonna work itself out. Or you know what? Maybe it's not that deep. Or maybe I didn't look at it that way. Maybe like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you people who are always complaining, you're gonna always have something to complain about, because you constantly feel like something's wrong. You always find what's wrong in a situation versus what is positive. One of my favorite sayings that my mom always used to say was, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Honestly and truly. Like, and I'm not saying that everything's perfect. I'm not saying that sometimes things are wrong and things do need to be addressed, of course, to fix it. But when somebody is just all instantly just negative, and it's also a way that you go about saying things. It's not always what you say, it's how you say it. If your order's wrong, or if, you know, this wasn't the color dress that you would usually like, or whatever the case may be, it's always a way to go about it instead of just instantly going into complain mode. Oh, I hate that color. Oh, I da-da-da-da. Please, god damn it. So negative. Give me the heebie-jeebies. The heebie-jeebies, whatever it is. Number 2, the people that you should be avoiding are people who are unlucky. Unlucky, woe is me, nothing ever goes right for me, I always get the short end of the stick, no matter what I do. Honey, that's because you think that way, and because sometimes things are gonna go wrong. It doesn't matter if you could be the most peaceful person in the world. You can be the most grateful person in the world. Something is going to go wrong at some point in time. You understand? Like, something is not going to be up to standard at some point in time. Mistakes happen. Like, things happen. You understand? But if you are around somebody who just constantly, like, they just can never get their head above water, trust and believe it's not always just their circumstance. They are creating these circumstances by the way that they think. The way that you think creates your life, people. So if you're constantly always in something, or something is always going wrong for you, or you always end up with the bad friend, or something in you is calling that to you, baby. And if somebody around you is like that, then they are calling that to themselves as well. And as long as you stay around that person, it's gonna be around you. Eventually, it's gonna start sticking on you. We unsubconsciously pick up things from the people around us. I'm telling y'all, this is so important. Like, it's not even funny. No joke, no smiling. Like, this is not funny. This is serious, and this is life. Because their life is only going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Like, back to complaining. You understand me? Always an issue. Like, so many people have gone through so many things, and like, don't think that it's easy for everybody. Just because somebody may be born with a little bit more money, or, you know, their parents are a little bit more loving, everybody has their issue. You understand? You just have to figure out how to work yours, how to turn it into a positive, and how to move forward. Number 3 are people who pretend, people who put on an act, people who are constantly wearing a mask, people who are too caught up in their, like, social or physical identity. Know when a person's a faker, or when a person is pretending. You understand? Like, because they just come off as inauthentic. You know the vibe. Like, you know the vibe. And even if they don't come off inauthentic, at some point they're gonna come off inauthentic to you. And you may say, oh, well, maybe it's not that. You know, no. When somebody shows you who they are the first time, believe them. And I'm not saying people cannot change, but I'm saying to you, okay, if you're around a person that's always pretending, that is something that they are hiding. You understand? That's something that they are hiding. They're hiding it. And the worst part is when they definitely be trying to act like they try to hide it from themselves. You feel me? Like, they hiding it from the world and, you know, all this other stuff. They have deeply rooted issues as to where they feel as though they need to keep up this identity. Like, if it's a person who's just too caught up in money, like they don't have money and they just feel worthless or whatever, that's a mask. Like, because as long as you got the money, you good. As long as you got money, you happy, because you trying to show everybody else that you're good. Let me tell you something. Money does not define you. Money does not define you. You are wealthy way before you got $100 million in the bank. You feel me? It's a mindset. It's an energy. It's an, you know, it's not in what you just physically have. Poof. They keep the mask up so high. It's something going on with them. I'm telling you, it's something going on with them. And it's like, you know, it's scary. It's very, very scary, because those people will be around you acting as if everything is good, acting as if they love you, acting as if they care for you. This happens in relationships too. And then when that mask finally come off, honey, what be under this? Not pretty. Ugh. Not pretty. And since they have been holding up this mask this whole time, they'll be mad at you. They'll be mad at you. I'm telling you, with that mask, that stuff is so scary, because it's like, you don't know what that person is really feeling on the inside. You don't know what they really thinking on the inside. They could be envious of you. They could be jealous of you. You know what this situation has me thinking about? It has me really thinking about Pop Smoke. And like, I was not a huge fan. I'm not even gonna say here and lie, or welcome to the party. You feel me? Energy seemed good. Like, he seemed like he had good energy. He was coming up. I didn't really get a chance to know him. And then boom, I wake up one morning, they say he passed away. I'm like, what? Like, no, he was just getting started. Like, you know who killed him? One of his people. One of his people, one of his boys. They showed the security footage after he died, and it's one of his friends walking out the door, and one of the same people that's like in pictures with him, like, it's just them two, like they boys, like they, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they was jealous of this man the whole time. Like, you were so envious that you wanted to take this man's life. And that's what I'm saying about people who wear masks and they're so the way that they are so inauthentic and how attached they are to their mask, they will never heal. They will never break free because they have this gate up so fast. Like, they are so insecure and they don't want anybody to see past this mask. So what's behind that wall, you do not know. And that is so scary. Oh my God. Ugh. Just know, if a person, you feel like they be pretending, they put on an act, they act a certain way around people, they act different, be around people who are authentic, be around people who are genuine, like the good, the bad, the ugly, all of that. You understand? And everybody has their, nobody's gonna just off bat just tell you all their deepest, darkest issues and, all their deepest, darkest insecurities. But when people try to put up this mask, this wall, especially like they have no issues or something like that, it's like, nah. Avoid people who pretend. They mean you no well. Number 4, the type of people that you should really be avoiding are people who are non-solution oriented. People who always got a problem but never wanna fix it. People who always got a problem and never wanna fix it are, like, if you got a friend that's always coming talking to you about her relationship problems and this is that, and oh, he treat me like this, and oh, he did this, he get on my motherfucking nerve, but yet they never leave them alone. Leave them alone. They don't want help. Because if they really wanted help, they would change. I've been there before. We've all been a little stupid. We've all been a little crazy. But if you don't eventually walk away from that situation, or if you stay in that situation for too long, I think have a person that's just always got a problem but never got an answer, or when you give them the answer, it's just like, well, maybe well, maybe. Or if they act like they're gonna, those are the worst ones. They act like they're gonna do something to fix it and never do. Oh no, baby, you want that problem. You want that problem. You want that issue. You don't want to fix it. You're like, I don't know what the hell they want to do. They just want to constantly keep telling you issue after issue after issue, but they never fix it. You don't ever think about a way to solve it. You just instantly complaining. Sometimes when things happen, that means it's a lesson to be learned. So you have to learn that lesson. And when people are constantly talking about problem after problem after problem, but never offering no solution or never even taking the advice of a solution, no. Some people are very, very comfortable with their pain, and I don't even think that they would know who they are without it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's sad. It's really, really sad. Avoid those people. Avoid those people at all costs, because when you have an issue, they just gonna make it more of an issue. Add fuel to the fire, or they just gonna keep the fire burning. Like, they're gonna keep it alive. You need people around you who are on the right track mentally, because when you get off track, you need somebody that's gonna be able to get you back on track. You understand? You don't need nobody that you gotta constantly keep, you keep listening to them, all that negative energy seeping into you. No, you may not realize it off bat, but eventually, baby, it's going to start taking its effects on you. It's draining as well. Constantly listening to people who have a problem and do not want to fix it is so draining. It drains your energy. Maybe I'm just speaking of me personally, because I am such a solution-oriented person. Like, if you have an issue, I'm going to listen to you and feel as though there's something that can help you. Because sometimes some people just need to vent, and then they get it together. You understand? But if I feel as though it's something that some piece of advice or something that I can offer you, I'm gonna offer it to you. So when I constantly hear problem after problem, my mind is just constantly working on how to fix it. And that's taking up a lot of my mental energy that I could be putting on something else, that I could be putting on my damn self, that I could be putting on my family, that I could be putting on my business. You understand? You do not need people like that. People who constantly have a problem and never want to fix it are time wasters. They waste time. They use their time unwisely. They spend it on a bunch of bull. And that's why they're going to constantly and always have a problem. Number 5 people to avoid is people who have no relationship with themselves. They do not know themselves. They do not know their patterns. They do not know their habits. They do not know what triggers them. They're just kind of just floating through life. You understand me? And then those type of people will come around you, baby. Those type of people will come around you and they will try to take your identity. And those are like the craziest people, because then they'll try to turn around and spit your stilo back at you. Like, are you crazy? Is there something wrong with you? But these people will bite off you. Even if they don't bite off you, they're gonna cling to you. You understand? Because you give them some sense of identity. You give them some sense of worth. You bring some sort of meaning to their life. And that is also draining as hell. It's a succubus. That's what I call those type of people. They are succubus. They do not have their own identity. They do not know themselves. They are not even trying to really get to know themselves. They are just looking for whatever's there. They're just trying to cling to whatever is going to allow them to cling to it. They just going to cling to it. Whatever can give them life. And that's what I'm saying. They're constantly taking life from you. You need to be around people who are giving you life. Be around solution-oriented people. Be around people who do not complain. People who do not complain 24/7. People, like, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you're going to complain. Sometimes things happen. But people who pick themselves up. People who are happy. People who are healing. You understand? Get away from these succubus. Who are we avoiding? We're avoiding complainers. We're avoiding unlucky people. Woe is me. Something I can't never catch a break. We are avoiding pretenders. Cuckoo. We are also avoiding non-solution oriented people. Goodbye. And number 5, people who have no identity, no sense of self-worth. They will only bring you down. Comment down below if this video helped you in any way, shape, or form. Let us know your experience and tell us some more people to try to avoid. I know I didn't touch everything. And this is the thing too. Just because you kick somebody out your life doesn't mean that it's beef. It doesn't mean that you don't like them or that you hate them. No love lost. You don't have to go talking about these people. It don't got to be angry. It don't got to be like, it don't have to be that. Just walk in love, walk in light. And if you want to further yourself and further your journey, surround yourself with people that you want to be like. Even if y'all not exactly on the same level or whatever, you feel me? Boss up. You hang around 5 millionaires, you gonna be the 6th one. So, you know, we are here every weekend with it. I love you guys. And I want you all to have a wonderful day. And like I said, if nobody told you that they love you today, honey, I do. And if you clicked on this video, you probably have had some issues with some people. You understand? But things will get better. And it always hurts at first cutting people off, especially if you feel like they have a good heart or, you know, they never did anything wrong. You understand? But they're going to bring you down. And it's hard to accept. Trust me, I have gone through this like all my life. It's hard to accept, but in the long run, you will be so much better off. So, love you, boo-boo.